Hello everybody, I bought to upgrade my PC with an AMD 9070XT, and today's video is gonna be about what you should expect when you're doing this and kind of my experience so far with it. Now I'm gonna put some context here. Before I had a 3070, and when I bought the TV I knew it was going to be a mismatch because like it's a 4040p card. These days it's a 1080p card, and lately it's been a dead card because of 8 GB VRAM. So to alleviate all that, I was like, you know what, I was saving money and I was like, I see 970XT on MSRP. Immediately I snagged it. Next day delivery. I installed yesterday. Probably you can hear it, I still have a cold. I was sneezing like crazy, avoiding shooting nose bullets on the GPU while I was doing the installation. Everything went fine. Now I'm not one to put display PCs and stuff. You're not gonna see this. It's below on the thing that I have it to just stay there. Now, I want to pre-emphasize by saying that the experience has been way better than I could hope. Because before with Bazzite on NVIDIA, specifically 3070, I had a lot of issues. And I tried a lot of other Linux systems. I stayed mostly on Nobara. Nobara was fine. But it still had issues. And I was like, you know what? I'm out. Like, I will try it if I get an AMD GPU, and I got one, and I was like, okay, let's try Bazzite. And you can see by here how cool it looks. I have connected my DualSense Edge controller, and it works pretty well. I have no problems whatsoever except when it comes to Bluetooth. Now my Bluetooth is an external dongle. I don't know if Linux has issues with this. I get a lot of double inputs and sometimes it feels about to disconnect, but it doesn't, and it feels weird. So I stopped using Bluetooth and I just started using the wired thing, and it works. Now, performance, what you should expect, because my case would be for someone that wants to upgrade, not build a new rig. This is not a new rig, this was just a GPU upgrade. And inside I have a 5600X. Which is an AMD CPU, and it works fine. If you're targeting to do like 4K 60, most of the time you're gonna get it. There are some games, specifically Monster Hunter Wilds, that you kind of have to drop the resolution because you are around the 50 FPS, and after a while, no matter what settings you go down and what like scaling you get down, it's just the CPU cannot provide enough for the resolution. So for that you can't just have to kind of give up, and whenever I upgrade my CPU, I'm gonna play this game, hopefully next year. But outside of that, like unless I try to compromise to get the resolution down, I'm not gonna do anything. Now, outside of that, I played a lot of games that I had issues before, Path of Exile, just no problem. Most of the games, I really have no problem, play them at 4K, max settings. And I was very surprised because I was worried, when you go to do those FSR4 mods and stuff, and how well it will work here. Now we have two things. One, you can use a specific command that it's called Proton FSR4 upgrade equals 1. I will put it below. You don't have to copy it from here. And it works pretty well. Like it just realizes that it's FSR4. It works the same how you will do it with something like on the Windows side, that it just automatically detects, oh, it's FSR, and it tells you on the right side when you open the game it's FSR4. Because I installed Windows, I tried it with Windows as well, just to install everything, because Windows is still gonna be my professional thing. I'm doing game development and you cannot break free Windows from that, but I wanted to at least break free for gaming. That was a big part for me that I wanted to do. So on this part, I feel like at least it feels like when you dual boot, it's like I'm turning on the PS5, because the PS5, you can see it there. I'm turning on the PS5. You don't really think that it's a PC. So because it also doesn't have all the files and access to all of that of the Windows, I tune myself out, which was something that was really annoying for me when I was using Windows. I was feeling that I was still at work. I was feeling that I was still like working, and I didn't like that, and I was trying to use consoles to escape that feeling, and it was working the same with the Steam Deck. But after using this kind of thing, like the separate SSD dual boot, it feels way better this way. Now, everything else works pretty much fine. And something else that I want to say about the FSR4 thing, you have to take in mind that you have to have the latest, or you're always going to have to download the latest Proton GE, which is the thing that allows you to use the FSR4 with that command that I said. In some games, you also, like Stellar Blade, because in Bazzite, the game thinks you are using a Steam Deck. So you have to use the Steam Deck equals 0 command in order to make it stop thinking and stop constraining you from changing some settings. Uh, this is not anything crazy. All you have to do is copy paste, and especially when you have a desktop, you don't have to tinker with just the controller. You can do it with a controller if you want, but if you have a keyboard, just do the initial setup with the keyboard, and then everything else, just copy paste it every time you need it. Not that big of a deal. And we also have the cool things here with the Decky, that you can just get the Decky frames and command pattern and patch from there. Same with lossless scaling if you want to use that. I have also installed Sunshine. Now that I got into that, Sunshine is something that on this specific GPU I have to investigate more. I didn't know about this because I never really cared to know about this stuff for AMD side. It seems like encoding is not as easy to figure out as NVIDIA. Before, on the NVIDIA side, I just put on the NVIDIA thing and it was just working. On this one, when using specifically Sunshine Moonlight, I don't know, something was not really working and I didn't know what to do. So what I did in the end was use a software scaler, but because my CPU, as I said, is a 5600X, it's not that powerful for that. And when I was using the software thing and not the GPU thing to stream, it was tanking performance like crazy. So not wise to do what I did there. And I ended up just, when I was using the Steam Deck, I ended up just using the stream function from Steam. It is inferior to Moonlight, let's be real, but it's not bad. So I didn't have like much of a problem. The only game, again, that I had an issue with was Monster Hunter Wilds, and I installed like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I used also the FSR4 mod. Everything from the plugins in here on Bazzite, unlike what happens to me when I'm using the ROG Ally, all of the plugins from here, from the Decky thing, work insanely. I don't have to do manual stuff. Everything works just fine for the FSR modifications you want to do, because this game, specifically here, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, doesn't have AMD. You only have TAA, TAAU, and you have DLSS. And if you don't want to use TAAU, you can just try to use the FSR4 and you can just adjust it to whatever you want. Do you want to be quality, performance, whatever you want, you can use it. With OptiScaler, it's easy. All I do is I map this button, or if you have back buttons, it's even easier, or whatever specific part of the controller you want to map it. If you don't want to touch your keyboard, I map it on here, I press the button, it's the insert key, I get OptiScaler, I put it once, and then I don't have to use it again. So that's pretty much good. And if you want to use also for FF7, for whatever reason, if you want to use frame generation, you can do that. I won't, but if you want, you can do that. I had a lot of good time with Path of Exile 2. Played a little bit and it felt really, really smooth. So I'm really, really happy about that. because it's a game that I wanted to play a lot. I wanted to have the full experience on the big TV. And this is an LG C4. I don't know why I didn't say it all this time. LG C4 42 inches. So I replaced my triple monitor setup with this, and even for productivity stuff it works, for media it works, everything I want to throw it at, it works. The only thing you need to know from the start, before you do this, you need, if you want to have VRR with this setup, right now it doesn't have VRR. Why? For whatever reason, AMD hasn't, I don't know what exactly is going on, but something with AMD and HDMI getting the certification for 2.1 to use VRR on these TVs doesn't work. Maybe Valve will fix this when they make their machine, so like kind of get through that, because a lot of people are gonna use that cube for this kind of setup, and I'm pretty sure for that they will need that, so maybe we're lucky to get that setup working from there. But I also want to say, a lot of games you don't need to think about upscaling at all. Even with my city CPU, something like Resident Evil 4, I don't even need to go through to use like upscaling, different upscaling, nothing. Completely raw performance 4K 60 works. Same with Baldur's Gate 3. 4K 60 plus works, it just works. The same with The Last of Us 2. Actually, for that I use quality because it also has FSR4 implementation, but I wanted a little bit higher FPS because it is, it is an FPS. And all of this is working well. Resident Evil 2, I want to play this game a lot. For whatever reason, it was not working well with my 3070. When I was trying to get weaker settings on the 3070, even with upscaling, it was just crashing and stuff. But now on this, no problems. So overall, I'm really happy with what we have here. And let me just get you somewhere else as well. So switching to desktop is pretty cool as well. You can have it as a desktop setup, because I'm pretty sure if you're using it on a computer like this, sometimes you will want to go to the desktop. I have no problem to do that at all. You can just open your programs. You have some cool things if you're dual booting. There are some scripts on called something when you go, because they don't tell you anymore. But when you go here on the start menu and you put Bazzite portal, you can get a lot of tweaks and a lot of stuff that can help you. Not performance tweaks, but like things like, oh, here is a shortcut. If you press it on game mode, you are booting immediately to, you're booting immediately to Windows. And you also can make for the grab menu to not stop you every time to press or like wait 30 seconds. It grabs immediately to Bazite and you boot directly into game mode. That's how I have made it up. A lot of people that don't want to boot it directly to the game mode don't have to do this, but I like to do that because when I open this OS, I want to be thinking I want to play games and not think I want to open Windows, I want to put my password, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to blah 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 and think about drivers. No. Here, everything, you just press one button, update. Is there an update? You get in the update. Is there not? You're not. So I like that a lot because I treat it like it's not my normal computer. And it's just, it feels like a consoleized version of a computer. So I like it a lot. And there is that, like mostly how I have been using it. And again, it's only 2 days that I have been using it like this, so I cannot tell you too many wrongs. Everything so far, except the Bluetooth thing, has been going dreamlike. So whenever there is a little bit more of an update, like I will make a video in a month to be like, hey, like you want to get this for Christmas, here is the verdict of what I have so far. I'm gonna put some gameplay because right now I haven't really even set up OBS here and didn't want to just screen record the nothingness and things not work or look like 10 FPS. So because I haven't set up anything yet, when I do, then I'm gonna make some content specifically from here. But so far I have seen, for whatever reason, the Steam recording, if I don't put it on G Proton, the Steam recordings doesn't work. But if I have Proton GE, the Steam recordings, when I'm doing the backward recording, works fine. So anyway, that is pretty much the update for the whole thing. 970 XT. I saw a lot of people wanted to make a video about this. I was actually surprised. I was expecting people were gonna be like, "Get out of here! We want handheld." So you guys wanted this. You can see like what is going on. I have been using it now for 2 days and it works. So there is that. I don't have to think about anything because before I was searching a lot like audio issues with NVIDIA, audio issues and all of that. None of that. Everything just works fine, no issue whatsoever. So I'm really happy. Anyway, thank you for watching and I hope this was entertaining / educational to whatever you want to do on a similar setup. Thank you for watching and please don't hesitate to ask any questions on the bottom. That's why I make these videos, conversation pieces and also, help a brother out. Because Bazite, let's be real as well, you have to do some research, you have to understand some things, and if you go without knowing anything and not look up anything, you're gonna be drowning like if you're playing an MMORPG and you don't know what's going on and you have to go raid immediately. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.